It talks about how are you going to organize your speech. Maybe you'll be doing outline. You're going to list all the important ideas that you're gonna deliver along your speech. Hello there. Once again, this is Emmanuel, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new in my channel, please click the button and don't ever forget to subscribe, leave some comments, or share this video. Alright, so for today's vlog, we're gonna do some tutorial perhaps, or this vlog of mine is quite formal because, ladies and gentlemen, for today's vlog, I'm gonna teach you how are you going to develop your public speaking skills, especially for all the professionals out there, teachers, or anybody who used to speak in front of many people. We can't deny the fact that being a human, sometimes we feel the butterflies in our tummy, and it seems that everybody has this what we call stage fright. So, do you feel these things? Have you ever encountered or experienced wherein a situation you are tasked or you are abruptly called to speak in front of many people, mass audiences? So I believe that you'll feel something different on you because of this what we call stage fright. So for today's vlog, I hope that you can learn something from it. You could develop your public speaking skills, especially if you're a professional, because nowadays your public speaking skills or your communication skills is one of your best assets to apply for a job or applying for different opportunities, especially if you want to travel abroad or if you want to, apply for a scholarship, especially in the US. Now, for today's vlog, I'm gonna teach you the 10 tips for public speaking.
Wow, fantastic, baby.
But before that, how sure you are that you are good in terms of public speaking? Have you ever assessed yourself out of 10, 1 to 10? Maybe you could assess yourself or rate yourself maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, or 8/10. So with the help of this vlog, I'm pretty sure that from 1, you could somehow assess yourself into 5 if you're going to apply all the things that I'm going to teach you today. Now, number 1 tip. So, nervousness is normal. Practice and prepare. Since we are all human, we are living things. Therefore, it's normal for us to feel some nervousness within our body. Sometimes, if somebody would tell us to speak in front, to pray in front, to deliver an opening remarks, or maybe to give some input, some recommendations, so we tend to neglect and refuse those opportunities because we are afraid to be embarrassed. We are afraid to speak in front of many people. So that's normal actually. So the best thing to do is practice and prepare. So maybe even nobody would ask you to deliver a speech in the next day. Just prepare yourself, practice, or maybe watch some video that would help you develop your pronunciation, the construction of your sentences, because sometimes that makes us hesitant to speak because we are uncertain of the things, of the words come out from our mouth. Would it be correct or not? Maybe we might be corrected with the grammar we have. Maybe it's wrong, alright? Would it be grammatically or semantically wrong? So the best thing to do is practice and prepare.
Oh my god.
Okay? Because practice makes perfect. 2. Know your audience. Your speech is about them, not you. For example, a certain school invited you to speak in front of the students. So you have to conduct this what we call audience analysis. So what is audience analysis all about? So this is a tip actually if you're a public speaker. This tells you to make a survey or assessment to the place where you're going to deliver your speech. For example, you're invited to speak in front or in a certain school, so you should know your audience. Of course, your audience will be students. So now, you're going to find strategies. How are you going to capture the attention of your audience, who is those students? So you have to level with their taste, with the trend that youths today are in the trends they have, the jokes you're gonna use, the anecdotes you're gonna use, the styles of your speaking. It should be aligned with what they need and who they are as a youth or as a student. Same as true if you're gonna deliver a speech and in a group of people who are not really educated, those people who are just graduated from the elementary. So try to know the most common dialect perhaps or language they use. If they don't know how to speak English fluently, then you have to adjust. Okay, you have to cut your attention because your audiences are the heart of your speech. Even how good you are in speaking, it will be useless if there is no response because nobody understands you. Did you get? Now, know your audience. Your speech is about them, it's not about you. Because you can assess whether you are effective in speaking if your audiences could react or could respond out from your topic or with your question. Now, number 3 tips. Tips number 3. Organize your material in the most effective manner to attain your purpose. Create the framework for your speech. Write down the topic, general purpose, specific purpose, central idea, and main points. Make sure to grab the audience's attention in the first 30 seconds. So in this third tip, it talks about how are you going to organize your speech. Maybe you'll be doing outline. You're going to list all the important ideas that you're gonna deliver along your speech. Okay, because doing these things would really your speech will become simultaneous. There will be no dead air, there will be no gaps, so you can talk easily and where are you going to, whether is it in the middle or you're gonna end your speech. So that's it. Organize your material. Number 4 tips. Watch for feedback and adapt to it. For example, because in my case I'm a member of Toastmaster International. Therefore, when we deliver speech, there are people out there or experts who would critique us, who would assess how we deliver our speech. So there is a rating scale out there, criteria for us to know the lackings we have, the shortcomings we have. Same as true with this tip number 4. So you should adopt the criticism, maybe the correction, should I say, coming from experts, or maybe, for example, you have already delivered a speech in a certain audiences. Then you've learned from this speech of yours that nobody responds and nobody reacts. So it means that your speech is ineffective. Therefore, if you'll be given a chance to speak again, I guess you really have to use those things you've learned. Maybe you should modify the styles that you've used, or maybe choose a topic that could surely catch their attention. So it has something to do with watch for feedback and adapt to it. You know what? Even the best speaker in the world uh, always stands corrected. So we are. So we have to stand. We have to adapt the mistakes we have, and we should learn from it. Especially if it comes from an expert one who assesses us in delivering our speech. Now, number 5. Let your personality come true. Be yourself. Don't become a talking head in any type of communication. You will establish better credibility if your personality shines through, and your audience will trust what you have to say if they can see you as a real person. Of course, you have to live your speech, be yourself. Okay, for example, if you are delivering an inspirational talk, so you should tell all the things you've been through, your experiences, but see to it that it's not exaggerated. Don't exaggerate everything. Just talk normally, who really you are, your experiences in life, and don't, of course, just talk about truth. No, if you experience these things, then tell it normally. Be yourself. If you're a funny person, then make some speech that could surely captivate your attention in funny ways. Now, be yourself. No? Be true to yourself. Now, number 6. Use humor, tell stories, and use effective language. Now, for example, if your audience is a group of students, now use your humor. Tell some jokes, crack some jokes, because you know what? Cracking some jokes would divert their attention. For example, if your speech is about, serious things, societal issues, wherein the students could, it's really hard for them to relate from your topic, then make some twist, divert it. Divert it, use some jokes which you could surely get their attention, motivate them to listen with what you are talking about. So that's it. And use effective language. So, because nowadays, youths, they have their own, the millennials, should I say, they have their own terms, no? They have their own terms. Now, you can use those terms, you can research, you should learn those terms, wherein you can integrate it in your speech, and these words or these languages could surely captivate their attention. It means that you really studied about it, and it also means that you really wanted to catch their attention, so somehow it could surely catch their attention. Now, number 7. Don't read unless you have to. Work from an outline. Now, as what I've said earlier, if you are delivering a speech, don't ever, because there are some speakers who brought with them their script. So because you know what, if you keep on looking on your script, you miss your eye contact with your audience, and eye contact is one of the best strategies to captivate the attention of your listener, right? So work from an outline. So, but instead of bringing your 10 copies, 10 pages script, you can use an outline and write it on piece of paper, wherein all the important things you're gonna say are being listed out there. Okay, from the beginning, your intro, your body, and your outro. But avoid using or bringing 10 pages or how many pages of copy or paper, okay, wherein your your speech are written. Number 8. Use your voice and hands effectively. Omit nervous gestures. Now, in a public speaking or in delivering a speech, you know what, your hand gesture really matters, okay? For example, if you want to emphasize something, then you can use it, but not all the time, because if you keep on talking like that, um, making use of your hands from the beginning up to the end, you know what? It could surely distract the attention of your listener, you know. So just use them appropriately when it is needed, like that. Fight for it. Stop poverty. You student, something like that. Or maybe something like that. Omit nervous gesture. So sometimes we have this we called mannerism. What is this mannerism? It's actually a term for Filipino speakers who speak in English. Sometimes, you know what? There are some people when they deliver speech, you know what? They tend to act this way just to, you know.
A few moments later.
Now there are some speakers in Filipino, you know, they have this kind of mannerism. They act this way, or sometimes they put their hands on their pockets, and it seems that they are dancing because they wanted to manage their nervousness. That's how they, you know, to avoid from nervousness. So that's why they act this way. Sometimes there are people who, you know, doing this hand gesture while they are speaking because they wanted to manage their nervousness. They want to release it by doing these things. Now for number 9 tip that I'm going to give you is grab attention at the beginning and close with a dynamic end. Now, when you deliver a speech, your introduction should be catchy. You start with the best introduction and you should end with the best outroduction. Now, and just be reminded that if you make some introduction, it should be aligned with your topic. When you talk about education, your beginning should all about education, and at the end you might think or integrate some best things or an anecdote maybe or a saying that talks about education and its importance, and it should be catchy so that when your audiences will go home, you know what, they will always remember those catchy things or sayings that you've shared to them. Okay, and of course the last one and the most important one, it's especially today we are now in 21st century learners and we are surrounded with technology. Number 10 is use audiovisual aids wisely. For example, your speech is about beauty products, you can bring some objects or maybe some real thing.
A few inches later.
But in using your visual aid, your audio visual, it should be a limit, no? It should be aligned with the content of your speech. For example, your speech is about education, then bring some. Yes, if your speech is about education, then bring something which has something to do with education. But see to it that it will not, you know, distract the audience. It will not confuse the audience. It should be aligned with the topic or with the main ideas that you wanted to convey to them. If it's about, you know, natural resources, then. So I hope you have learned something from this video. If you have a question, just don't be hesitant to leave some comment or ask me personally. Again, don't ever forget to subscribe, ring the bell, the notification bell, and press all for you to be updated for all the latest videos I have. Again, thank you for watching. God bless everyone. Enjoy speaking English. Goodbye.